Post-fight, predictable responses. He needs to get rid of Tunde. Expected that. Then you get the I'm happy to be here, British mentality. Maybe over-exaggerating how well he did against a 36-year-old who has obvious deterioration in his body. I believe Frank Warren got the memo that this is the time to get him. Probably why Canelo wanted to pay Yard the step-aside money so he could get him. Some thought he could get Kovalev because Kovalev was there for the taking, and he wasn't able to do that. Kind of like Tyson Fury's draw with Deontay Wilder. We're still talking about it now like it was a victory. Yard didn't win. Tyson Fury didn't win. You need to get over that. And then on the other side of that, you get the extreme criticism. Oh, he's a no-hoper. He's a bodybuilder trying to be a boxer. Kovalev just handled him easy. There was never no opposition from Yard, etc., etc. You get that reaction. Yard is just terrible. Everything is terrible. Tunde is just terrible. Absolutely a waste of space. Well, then that means you can't really bask in Kovalev's victory like that because he beat a no-hoper, according to you. You nearly knocked him out in the 8th. Nearly. Not quite, but nearly. Tunde said a lot of stuff. The Andre Ward shit really pissed me off, to be honest, because if you're not going to learn from somebody who's got 2 W's over the man you're fighting, then that's silly. But at the same time, I do recognize there are a lot of people who are not even interested to find out more about Tunde and what makes him do and say what he does. They would just like to see the partnership between him and Yard dissolve to justify their dislike for him. Not necessarily because they want to see Yard become a better boxer, but just for that reason. They would just like to see Tunde fail, so they don't have to hear his mouth. They're not interested in if he can improve as a trainer. They're not interested in what he did right or objectively what he did wrong. They just hate Tunde, and that's that. If Yard and Tunde split, they split. That's fair enough. But the amount of people who want to see the camp torn up, not necessarily to benefit Yard or anything like that, they just want to see, they don't want to hear lines in the camp no more. They don't want to hear it. Like it's the biggest disaster in the world, him losing. People lose fights. He wasn't rushed to hospital hemorrhaging or anything like that. He's still got his health. He's fit, young, strong, a lot richer this morning. Technical excellence is great. But some people seem to forget that, yeah, it's just you in the ring, but boxing is a team sport. When somebody's got your back and you share similar objectives and goals, it's very powerful. Teamwork is important in life. Very important. There's not many things you can do just by yourself. There ain't. Like I said, that unity is very powerful. But you can't find out how powerful that unity is if you're only strong when everything is going well. It's how you handle adversity and come out the other side and come out better and stronger. And I'm talking about a concept here. I ain't talking about Yard and Tunde. I haven't got no clue. They can stick together and be the biggest bums ever. I don't know. They may become the greatest. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about certain values that are just lost on a lot of you. And I'm just working out, how come I'm the only one saying that loyalty is very important in boxing, football, anything you go in? How come you guys just think, oh, well, I just need to learn how to block and punch better? That's part of it. Being able to trust your team is vital. Being able to rely on each other is vital. Your solution to everything that breaks is get something new. Maybe Tommy Hearns should have got rid of Emmanuel Stewart after they lost to Sugar Ray Leonard. That's what they should have done. What would be the fallout from that potential scenario? Let's start with Hearns. He could have went somewhere else and been successful. No doubt. I mean, he was with Manny since they were 13 and 14. He was like Manny Stewart's son. Tommy didn't have a dad in the house. So when they'd go to trips, boxing trips, Emmanuel Stewart said Tommy wasn't like the other kids to say, thank you for taking me here, Mr. Stewart, and stuff like that. Grateful. Yeah, let's say if they split 1981. Say if they split. What would happen to Manny Stewart? Well, he might have been a bit deflated. He put a lot of work into Tommy. He might have continued, but not with the same enthusiasm. And in turn, we wouldn't have had the 5-weight champion Tommy Hearns. We wouldn't have had a Lennox Lewis, a Mike McCallum, and a Jimmy Paul, a James Toney, whoever else he trained. A Klitschko. Because trust me, why the fuck would I put a lot of effort into you if I'm a talented trainer, if I think you're just going to split at the first hurdle that we drop. I'm going to say fuck you like a mercenary, train you, take my money, piss off. I'm spending time away from my family, sacrificing time, putting resources into this kid so someone else can take the benefit and say, oh, what a great job they did with him. The Kronk Gymnasium, they fell with Tommy Hearns when he lost to Leonard, and they rose back up with him. But it is what it is, though. Marriages don't last. It's hard to get employment with permanent contracts or guaranteed hours enough so that you can function. People are consumed in their iPhones, Androids, their tablets, and their lives are in these things, in these devices, and they're consumed in them. So committing to other humans, what's that? That's an alien concept. That's played out now. I'm not saying, I put the challenge to you to show me the successful boxers who haven't had loyal relationships with their coach or had loyal entourages and teams put together. The fact that people are not acknowledging that teamwork and loyalty are vital in 2019 just shows how powerful artificial intelligence has become. Yeah. When they eulogize your career, I don't just want to hear how great it was when you had your hand raised and the millions of people were cheering and stuff. Nah, I want to hear about the hurdles where they said, nah, you need to split. You need to go this way, and you hung in there, stuck together. You worked things out. You worked through the crisis, and the team emerged through the crisis. I want to hear about that, because without that, I'm telling you, you wouldn't be celebrating all the success stories that you like to celebrate in sport without that. Trust me. And I'm not saying you shouldn't switch trainers. I'm not saying that. But it has to be from the heart, your heart, man. You can't be so weak that you're just letting outsiders, of whom most you don't know what their motives are, practically make life-changing decisions for you, key decisions. Like I said, no problem if AJ made an independent decision to leave Rob McCracken. I have no problem with that. But then I asked myself, when AJ was up to his nonsense and got thrown off Team GB when he was a kid, who do you think it was who was fighting to keep him on Team GB? Who do you think it was? Do you know what he might have done if Rob never fought for him? He might have quit boxing. I'm not saying he would have turned into Lee Huff and Ronnie Biggs or anything like that. I doubt if we would have in Watford, yeah? But he wouldn't be making the millions he's making now. He wouldn't be the man he is now. Just be a regular civilian. They went for a lot of shit together. A whole lot. I was watching ES News, and that guy Brandon, the coach, the boxing coach, he was saying AJ first touched the gloves less than 10 years ago. Less than 10 years ago. Olympic champion, free weight belt holder, less than 10 years ago. A lot of the flaws you see in AJ isn't through coaching, it's just him being inexperienced as a boxer. Most of the great boxers started at 10, 9, 12. He started at 18. Or is it 19? Trainers outlast boxers normally. So AJ will not reap the benefits of what Rob McCracken is able to do as a coach in 10, 15 years' time. But the boxers that Rob is training in 2030, they will reap the benefits of all what he's went through with AJ, Frutch, and whoever's in between now and then. They will reap it. They will reap the rewards. Vlad and Lennox, they benefited from Stewart's mistakes that he made 20 plus years early with Tommy Hearns and Leonard. They benefited from that with the holding tactics, which Hearns didn't do against Leonard. Yeah. Now, I don't think Stewart taught Vlad to hold on as excessively as he started doing, but that was Vlad saying, hey, this works. Hey, I'm in Germany, they're not stopping me doing it. And he just got very excessive. But Manny introduced that to him. Yes, he did. Most good coaches don't repeat their mistakes. After Ali and Frazier won, go watch the second Muhammad Ali-Frazier fight and watch how much Ali held. Yeah? In the Thriller in Manila, they told Carlos Padilla, make sure Ali doesn't hold as much as he did in the second fight. Keep an eye on it. Angelo Dundee was not giving up them free shots on the inside against Frazier this time. No. In all truth, Ali started holding on quite a lot after that when he could get away with it. Yeah, he did. He wasn't doing that before. Because I'm telling you from now, whether you want to argue it or not, Rob McCracken is going down as one of the greatest British coaches already with the work that he's done with Froch and what he's done with AJ so far. And in 15 years' time, the likes of Froch and AJ will return to the gym, drop a few jewels and pearls of wisdom on the new students, and that's how it's supposed to be. You can't get that with people just jumping ship, going coach to coach, gym hopping like Amir Khan. And I don't want to come across that I'm trying to make a point of patriotism here. No. The fact that Rob is British and AJ is British is better for British boxing. It's going to inspire future British coaches to see the success they're having, rather than you have to go abroad and hire Manny Stewart and you got to go with Virgil Hunter and you got to go with this guy and that guy because, we can't produce coaches out here. Come on, man. If Andre Ward had lost the fight as a pro, I wonder how much people would have been saying he needs to get rid of Virg. Is Virgil Hunter some great coach? I'm going to say no. He's a great coach with Ward. When you put his name alongside Ward, he's great. But no. And that's the type of guy you'd say AJ needs to go to. But apart from Andre Ward, who has he really produced? But he's done an absolutely great job with Andre Ward. And you know what it took for that greatness to show itself? Loyalty. 23-year relationship. Ward and Virgil Hunter. Since he was 9. Until the last punch he threw in boxing. Who else did Enzo Calzaghe really produce, apart from his son? What about Roy and Murchison, his trainer? Who else did he train? Did he train Smoke Gaynor? If he trained him, that's probably it. Who else did he train? What did Roy say? If I had to go, I can't remember how he said it, if I had to go into a precarious situation and Murchison had my back, I'll be confident that we both make it out there. It's more than boxing that, to say that. Anyone who knows Joe Calzaghe's career, what did they keep saying Joe Calzaghe needs to do throughout his career? Who did he need to get rid of? Yeah, he needs to get rid of Enzo, his dad. To me, I'm not talking about pound for pound. That's one category. But in some ways, Lamont Peterson is one of the best fighters I've seen. Because he couldn't punch hard, and he wasn't fast. There were more explosive, more obviously talented fighters. But he got everything out of what he had. Everything. And that's what Barry Hunter, taking him from a home. They were homeless kids. Him and Andy were homeless. From homeless kids. And they entrusted in that man. Gave them purpose. And Lamont took every advantage of what this man had to offer him to better his life. Now, Anthony, it didn't work out for Anthony like it worked out for Lamont. It's one of them things. That was Lamont Peterson's only trainer for his whole career. Barry Hunter. Barry doesn't have no big track record with other fighters. He's been in other corners assisting and he's done his thing. That's a bond. You see, meetings of young minds and influential men like that, they can go either way. If this guy was someone who preyed on children, he could say, yo, take this pistol and go rob that boy over there and bring me the money back and bring me the drugs and all that shit there. It could have went left and he would have did it because he was impressionable. He didn't have no father in his life. When Lamont met Barry and started trusting Barry, if Barry had told Lamont as a kid, a teenage kid, to try and run through that brick wall, he would have probably tried to do it. That's all I keep hearing. You need to learn this. You need to go to that coach. Listen, there are some boxers who get taught by their coach certain techniques and they're actually executing these skills better than they were taught the skill. And that's why we're saying they're really good or great. That's what Larry Holmes claimed he did with Ali's jab. He said, I took that jab. It was a quick jab, but mine was quick and powerful. Ali's jab was a flick. I don't want to pour rain on the trainer's parade, but training is a lottery. If you get a kid who can adapt to what you're teaching and then excel, and he becomes the star pupil in the gym, well, you can talk to the rest of your pupils till you're blue in the face. What's the saying? I can show you better than I can tell you. Because right now, rather than barking at your pupils, keep your left hand up, throw the jab, you can just get them to watch this kid. He's actually just doing it to a high level, winning amateur tournaments and pro fights. You can just let him watch him.
And if they can't follow that lead, then, there's not much you can do with them. There's not much you can do with them. If you're training alongside excellence as a boxer and you're not picking it up, the sport's not made for you. It's time to move on and do something else. And even if the coach doesn't tell them to do that, that's what they're going to do. When they see this precocious kid doing stuff they've never seen before, that's what they're going to try. They ain't going to be listening to the coach. I want to do that. I want to do that. Whatever it is. If you're a boxing coach these days, you're going to have to accept that a lot of your pupils are going to come in trying to finish you. Now, you can try and teach it out of them. You could try that. But that's what they're going to do. Because that's what they see Floyd Mayweather do. That's what Yard was doing. And when Muhammad Ali was fighting, you hear the old coaches talk about it. They're just coming in the gym now with their hands down, getting knocked the F out. They think they're Ali. Because most kids who go in the gym and want to actually box, whether it's amateur or at pro level, most of them go in with a perceived idea of how they want to box. Based on the boxers probably of their era they've seen on TV. Now, the coaches they meet may either accommodate them or try and get them to get rid of whatever they're doing and adapt to our coaching methods. Or swing your hook. Floyd Mayweather, what can I say? His uncle was a killer in the ring. Was a killer. Was a bad man. His dad perfected that shell. Jeff was just, okay, he was good. But he's there. He's dedicated. He's in the gym every day as a coach. And he was a reliable presence in Mayweather's life. He said that. His dad taught him how to box as soon as he could walk. As soon as he could walk. Right up to the last punch he threw. They switched up in between him and Roger. So look at that. Look what he's getting. His dad is an excellent defensive trainer. And his uncle is an excellent offensive fighter. His other uncle was always there and reliable. A reliable presence in his life. Jeff Mayweather. That's why he's the best of our generation. But it was also the sparring sessions with Frankie Randall, a former world champion, first man to beat Julio Cesar Chavez. It's also them sessions, the sessions with Whitaker, which told him as an amateur, you know something, I handled Frankie and I held my own with Purnell. I can move forward with this. There's a lot of people in Mayweather's life that have made him who he was as a boxer. It's not just one person, but his dad and Roger are the nucleus of what we saw in the ring. That's blood. That's blood. He had horrible arguments with his dad, but you don't even call that loyalty. That doesn't come under loyalty. That's blood. That's blood. If you have a good understanding of offense and defense by the time you're 15, then more than likely at some stage you'll become a world champion, or at least a very good fighter. You would have thought. Tyson Fury learned to box from a young kid. You can't just recreate that experience by switching trainers. You can't. Now, from what Tyson Fury said, Ben Davison saved his life. So when people like me are saying, Ben's probably too young, too inexperienced to be a coach, Tyson trusts that guy with his life. They've got a bond that most of us wouldn't understand. What does everyone think Rob McCracken's been doing from that loss? Rob's been pulling his hair out, thinking, yo, you see what happened there? It ain't happening again. I don't think there could be a better man to train AJ for the Ruiz rematch, especially in the short time between now and December. In my opinion, AJ and Rob will be fine. Will be fine. From now, in my opinion, your opponent gets popped, another one drops out, another one drops out. Yo, Eddie, scrap that card. We're not fighting. We're going to reschedule and restart our camp for a fresh opponent who we can focus on.